Hello and welcome to another video by Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today we are looking at something very old and now very, very collectible. We are looking at the 1967 release by P.B.S Ltd from their series of TV tie-in television picture storybooks. And this particular storybook we are looking at today is from the hit TV series The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which starred David McCallum and Robert Vaughn as Illya Kuryakin and Napoleon Solo, and also their boss, Mr. Waverley. Okay, so this is the book in front of us, and it says The Man from U.N.C.L.E. television picture storybook, and you've got Waverley, Kuryakin and Solo, photographs from the TV series, and there's obviously some artwork images as well there. Okay, that's the front of the book. Let's just whip the book over to the back, and we've got exactly the same on the back, so no different there. Again, it says The Man from U.N.C.L.E. television picture storybook, and the same, exactly the same images as what was on the front cover. Okay, so that's the back cover. Let's just have a quick look at the spline, and it says The Man from U.N.C.L.E. television picture storybook. There is a little bit of wear on the spline here, but something that is 57 years old is bound to have a few cosmetic issues. We all have by the time we get to 57 years old, so there we are. Okay, that's the front of the book, front and back covers. Let's open it up and have a look on the inside. Okay, so I have opened the front cover, and this is what we got on the inside. So we've got images of Mr. Waverley, Kuryakin and Napoleon Solo. Now there is some writing inside here. It's got Joy Sadler, 43 Whitecliffe Grange, Richmond, Yorkshire. And this belongs to Joy Sadler. And there's some writing on here as well. Can't quite read what that says. TV programme, L3, Whitecliffe Grange. So, but there's obviously someone's had it and they put their name and address in there a few times. Okay, that's the inside the front cover. Let's open the book up now. And we've got, it says copyright 1967 by Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Inc. All rights reserved throughout the world. Published in Great Britain by P.B.S Ltd by arrangements with Western Publishing Company. And it's got printed in the Netherlands. And it's got The Man from U.N.C.L.E. television story book. Sorry, television picture story book. And there is some, again, there's some little bit of ink marks inside the O's there. And you've got an image of Illya Kuryakin and Napoleon Solo there. Nice artwork image. Okay, let's open the book, go to the next page, and it gives us the contents. And it is called, the first story is The Trojan Horse Affair. Then you've got Death Plunge, The Three-Story Giant Affair, The Phantom Spy, Ting Along Enemy Agent, and Operation Disaster. Okay, so now these books were stories were wrote specifically for these television picture books or storybooks, and so they're original stories, and they are artwork comic strip stories. These particular ones. Again, there's a little bit of writing on this book, but you know, there we are. Okay, so the first story is called The Trojan Horse Affair. And it is a full comic strip story in full colour, featuring obviously Napoleon Solo, Waverley and Illya Kuryakin. I don't know what the story is all about because I haven't read it, and I'm not going to waste too much time by reading it. Again, is a little bit disappointed by the amount of writing on this book, but not a lot we can do about that. It's happened a long time ago in the past, so there we are. It's quite a long story, this particular one. A good lengthy comic strip story, I must say, and it's still going on. We're 27 pages in now and the story is still going, so there we are. Okay, so that goes right up to page 30. And then we've got Jet Dream and his stunned girl counter spies. And this is called Death Plunge. And again, that looks to be a little comic strip story. Yeah, it's about 4 or 5 pages. And then we're on to the next U.N.C.L.E. story, which is the 3-story giant affair. And again, it's another original story with beautiful coloured comic strips. Again, it was all wrote specifically for this particular book, the television picture book. I believe so. Anyway, I don't know whether I don't think these stories appeared in the annuals. I'm pretty certain they were unique to these books. They're quite long stories for the annuals as well. So, yeah, I'm pretty certain they were unique to these books. Maybe they appeared in annuals later. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. If someone does know, then message me and let me know. But as far as I'm aware, they're original stories produced just for these picture storybooks. And there was quite a lot of these storybooks produced, actually, in fact, during the time in between the annuals and the TV shows. Okay, and then we're on to the next thing, which is The Phantom Spy, which is a very short story there. And Jet Dream and his stunt girl counter spies, Ting-a-ling enemy agent. Again, that's a short comic strip story. I think it's only 4 or 5 pages. Yep. And then we come on to Operation Disaster, which is a very short 1-page story from Uncle. But I don't think the men from Uncle are actually in it. No. This is Operation Disaster. Ruth Kuhn is a German spy who operates a beauty parlour in Hawaii at the start of World War II. During working hours, she eavesdropped on the gossip of many wives, and Tom is being transferred as soon as that new secret aircraft carrier arrives next week. On weekends, the beautiful spy takes strolls near the giant naval base. 2 more battleships at work. Escorted by admiring officers, the German agent is a frequent visitor to visiting American warships. Ruth Kuhn's information is sold to the Japanese and makes possible the disaster at Pearl Harbor. There we go. And then inside the back page again there, and again there's pretty much almost the same writing as what was in the front. It's somebody is obviously in love with Napoleon solo there, but there we go. Okay, so that is the end of the book. So these books were produced the front end of the year, really. So towards the Easter time, so March, April time, these were produced. Obviously at the end of the year, September, October, November time, you had the annuals produced. And these are obviously half the size of the annuals. They're only 40, 50 pages, whereas the annuals at the time were 80, 90, 100 pages. So these were like your stopgap between your annuals. And obviously the TV series were very, very big at the time. So whatever TV series was on trend, these TV picture storybooks were produced to keep you enthralled by them when they weren't on television. Because back in the 60s, there was no video streaming service, DVDs, or internet, and nothing like that. So if you didn't see your TV program when it was shown at broadcast, well, you missed it. You used to have to hope that they rerun them sometime soon. A lot of the kids' programs they did, to be fair. But action spy series like The Man from U.N.C.L.E., that didn't really get reruns for a long time because there was a lot of episodes produced. So the chances are, you might have to wait years to see your program if you missed it. So this was your stopgap. These were like your video recorders, so you could go pick up a book and read the story and immerse yourself into the actual story. So yeah, they were mass produced, done very well, and just like the annuals, they were a staple diet for most people at the beginning of the year rather than the end of the year when the annuals come out. So now we are talking 57 years on since this book was produced. Now, a lot of these books, sadly, have not survived the test of time. And obviously, the volume of these was not produced as much as the annuals. So the annuals were mass-produced, big quantities, because obviously that was the thing. The annuals were very, very important towards the end of the year for the Christmas rush. And everybody ended up with annuals in their Christmas stockings or their sacks on Christmas morning. Television picture books were a little bit different. obviously, because they weren't for Christmas, people used to give gifts at Easter instead of eggs. And these particular things were cheap enough. They were the same price as chocolate eggs. So these were the things that were also given, and that was the target for these books to be produced. But sadly, as I say, not many of them have survived the test of time, and there wasn't the quantities of the other ones produced. So finding them nowadays is getting harder and harder and harder. They do occasionally pop up from time to time on the platforms, but not as anywhere near as often as the annuals do. And like I say, they've all got defects. So 57 years on, there's bound to be cosmetic defects somewhere, and you do usually find that there is some writing inside these books. But in any condition, really, they're very collectible and difficult to find. And of course, we at Midas Touch have managed to find one or two, and they're currently available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to quite simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Man from Uncle items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles. Come to that, there's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely sure you won't want to miss this, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or maybe just something from your childhood that you like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed this very short video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.